Hello, this is Chris Pickard at Body in Balance in Brookman's Park in Hertfordshire in this United Kingdom of ours. And this week it's all been about homeostasis. For those of you that were here at the beginning of the week, you'll know exactly what I'm going to talk about. For those of you that can read the title, you know what I'm going to be talking about. But first, let's just give good old Facebook a few moments to build the list, get some people invited. There we go. Let's get some people happening here. Oh yes, there we go, there we go, there we go. Lots and lots of lovely people. There we go. Okay. Hello Kate. Hello Kate. So why am I doing this, first of all? Well, it's because I live in the United Kingdom and we have this wonderful service called the NHS, and everybody over the past 50 years, they've become more and more reliant when something goes wrong with their health. They think, don't worry about their health, someone else is going to look after it. The NHS, it's fabulous. However, there are now so many problems of our own making. It's putting so much strain on the NHS. I mean, this morning's news was the fact that there were more emergency operations cancelled in the NHS last year than the year before. And this is just absolutely atrocious and terrible, especially because I bet that most of those would have been completely avoidable if those individuals had have made different choices, if they'd have made better choices, more appropriate choices for their long-term survival, not just their short-term satisfaction. And I don't know about you, but when I'm 80, when I'm 90, when I'm 100, when I'm 110, when I'm 150, I want to have my mind and my body working in such a way that I'm not going to be dependent upon a whole load of machines and things that go ping. I don't want to be in a wheelchair unless you know, broken a leg because I was skydiving, something foolish that I don't see myself undertaking until I'm at least 100 years old. Anyway, so yeah, I'm here because I want to save the NHS by making sure that you never need it. And I hope that you appreciate this. So, homeostasis. Now, throughout the week I've spoken about the different mechanisms in our body, the traditional ones that people really home in on about in the NHS and elsewhere, which is our nervous system, our hormone system, endocrine system, and our immune system. I've spoken about the microbiome as well, all the gut bacterial systems. But there's two other systems that have come to light much more recently that are playing possibly very key role, one of them definitely a very key role in keeping our homeostasis together and keeping our well-being. It's this kind of central axis endocrine system almost. It's a mediator between our immune system and our hormones and our nervous system. It's the mediator between everything. And this is called the, what's it called? The endocannabinoid system. And the thing that I really want to talk about is not cannabis, but an extract of it. Cannabidiol. Yes, cannabidiol oil. Okay. Now, in cannabis, hemp plant, to be more precise, let's get really precise, okay, because hemp is wonderful, okay. Hemp is wonderful. Did you know that not only did we used to make most of our ropes and sails from hemp back in the olden days, huge amount of the UK was covered in hemp, okay, because it had so many uses. And you only need about a quarter of the land to get the same amount of clothing from hemp that you do from cotton. I didn't know that. But did you also know that of all the plants upon this earth, hemp sucks in more carbon dioxide and pumps out more oxygen than anything else? So it actually cleans the environment better than any other plant, as far as I know anyway. And not only can you make clothes from it, you can make protein from it. A lot of people have hemp protein. So you can eat the stuff as well, and it's full of amazing proteins. the ordinary oils that you get from it, you know, just like you get olive oil from olives and you get flax oil from flax oil, the actual ordinary hemp oil is tremendous for the brain. It's tremendous for all sorts of reasons. And they can also now make hempcrete, a type of concrete from hemp. So you can build with this, and it lasts for 900 years. And in that 900 years, it again sucks in pollution. I mean, what an amazing plant hemp is. And not only that, you can make medicine from it as well in the form of very specific components of the oil, which is CBD, or cannabidiol oil. And then there's also THC, which is still really cannabidiol oil. THC is the part of cannabis that basically makes you high. It's why it's illegal, because, you know, governments and stuff, they don't like you getting high. However, THC does have health properties in and of itself, but the CBD oil has more health properties, slightly different, but it does have more. And what is more, it is legal. It is completely legal, which is why, bit of a plug here, I sell it in the clinic. Marvellous, eh? I never realised I was going to become a legal drug dealer when I was growing up as a student. But here I am. So, it is an amazing plant, okay? And so what's this got to do with health, really? Well, because of the fact that so many anecdotal stories were coming out about how cannabis had so many health properties, governments were investigating, you know, how to use it. And in fact, where I used to live in Kent, my brother came across a whole field of cannabis growing, and it was obviously all sanctioned by the government. I mean, there were all kinds of special laboratory things going on in white tents and people in masks and stuff experimenting on things. But it's truly, I mean, it's been so now well documented. And in fact, in 1992, it was found that the endocannabinoid system, like endocrine, we have this endocrine system in our body that is basically run on cannabidiols. And yes, we make all of these things naturally. You don't have to go and smoke a load of cannabis and weed to actually get these inside your body. We already make them. That's why it's there. Like all of these different things that we've discovered by accident, it's because they're already being made in our body. Our body is the best biochemistry pharmaceutical lab in the world, as long as you feed it the right raw materials and you don't pour in the wrong things. So, they found that the body has this endocannabinoid system, and it basically regulates and harmonizes all the other systems. So there's a huge list of anecdotal stories about cannabis helping everything from cancer, Alzheimer's, blood pressure, allergies, stomach problems, autoimmune. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on. But the science is beginning to catch up with all the anecdotal evidence as well. THC is if you are on chemotherapy and you are having a huge problem with appetite, then apparently THC does cause the munchies. It does make you hungry, so it can counteract some of those things. But CBD oil, the legal stuff, not only has it has actually got anti-cancer therapies. I think I'm actually legally allowed to say that. It has got it's definitely got immune qualities, but it actually is more of an appetite suppressant. But so a lot of people who are overweight find that when they start having the right kind of cannabidiol, can actually start losing weight, because it helps regulate your brain chemicals. It regulates things like leptins in your body, which is your kind of hunger and obesity molecule. It just goes on. And the easiest way for me to actually tell you how much good it's doing is I'm going to put up a link to a video. It's about 45 minutes long that goes into all of the wonderful things I'm doing, that it does. But the main reason I use this in the clinic, and I'll just go through a couple of the different things we have here, is because it's a fantastic anti-inflammatory. Now, most anti-inflammatories that people are taking for arthritis or whatever reason they're taking them, at a certain level, the anti-inflammatory drug actually starts having an inflammatory response. It starts killing and destroying the thing. In fact, pretty much all anti-inflammatory drugs, aspirin included, they have detrimental effects on our liver, our kidneys, and all of our cells. But the higher the dose goes, the worse it then gets. I mean, it just gets so bad for you. It's incredible. cannabidiol oil, the more you take, the better it is. There has been no recorded deaths from cannabidiol. In fact, there have been no recorded deaths from cannabis. Certainly not from eating and ingesting it in its pure state. Smoking it, different matter. There may be some instances of very rare cancers of the lung caused by it. But in all the hearings in the United States where they're looking at trying to legalize cannabis more and more and more, the official line is there are no deaths anywhere from cannabis. So yeah, this stuff you can take lots of. We have it in two different forms. We have it in a, let's see, does it actually say on here? No, it doesn't say on here. We have it in a black bottle. And this is called liposomal, and this is just the pure CBD oil. And it's got some fats around it that make it much more absorbable. And this is actually really good for mental anxiety issues, but it does have great effects with chronic pain as well. Whereas we have it in the blue bottle, we have a tincture, and this is, now you can just about see that. And this is a bit harder to absorb, but it's actually not got sort of CBD, it's got some of the other diol oils in there as well. And this seems to be much better for general pain relief and bringing down inflammation. Also very good for athletes, very good for your general health. So if you would like to try what we have, then we are selling it for, you can just go to, if you're not local at all, if you're not in the country, just go to Elixinol, I'll put the link to the website, or give us a call because it's the same price that we sell it for, including postage and packaging. So give us a shout if you want to try it. So that's the wonderful world of hemp and cannabis. Now, the next thing is light. Yes, light. Light is actually a communication system within us. It's called biophotons. Every single cell in our body emits light. We don't just receive it with our eyes. It doesn't just hit our skin. We're actually emitting it on the inside of our body. All of our cells have light receptors, and that's part of our communication system. And there seem to be two different light communication systems. There's a general one, and there's very specific ones that travel along our nerve pathways and basically our myofascial system, like threads through the body, like the nervous system, like fiber optics, basically. We have fiber optics inside our body. And with light, they're finding out all kinds of things that the way that the light is emitted will help other cells in the body almost instantaneously all over what's going on with each cell. It can actually help determine, well, we know, for instance, that cancer-causing agents refract light in a certain way. Now, what does that mean? Well, basically it means that I should have looked this up because I can't remember, I'm just remembering from my physics days. Basically, when light hits glass or another substance, it changes its angle, its speed, and it changes angle. And this is why, for instance, if you have light hitting a prism, it then comes out with different colors. And that's refraction. I believe. So go and look it up and tell me if I'm wrong. But basically, cancer-causing agents have a specific effect on light. I think it's 435 nanometers, and one of the way to actually determine whether a substance is going to be causing cancer is, does it refract light at this particular frequency? And the thing is, if your cells are emitting light at these frequencies, you can pick this up apparently. But we've also found that different diseases have different light emission pathways, so they're now starting to develop things that can sense light and actually tell you what's wrong with you. I think the first one that's really going to come out is one on the fingertips. They put stuff on your fingertips and they can tell you whether you've got heart disease, and it's more accurate than any other test. This is just experimental so far, but it's just going to be amazing. It's going to be like Star Trek, where they have a scanner coming up and it's going to tell you everything that's wrong without actually harming you in any way. So that's fantastic. So that's detection of light, but we can also use light, program light, to actually have specific effects on different cells in the body to communicate with them. And so in the clinic I use what's called a Q1000 laser, and this can be put pretty much anywhere. This laser can actually even be shined safely in the closed eye, even safely from 20 centimeters into an open eye for at least 20 seconds. Not that I'd actually ever do that, but it's fantastic for hay fever relief. It's amazing. So it's anti-inflammatory. It can help create the right gut molecules, the right brain molecules. And then we also have laser pointers. So this is used for kind of the general cell-to-cell communication and trying to communicate with just cells in a specific area. As is this to a certain way. This is, again, a therapeutic laser. But you can use just an ordinary laser pointer. Because what has been found is when you shine a light into one end of a nerve, they can find the same photons coming out from the other end of the nerve. Now, they've only done this with rats, I believe, so far. They might have started doing this with humans, but I came across this technique. It's called cranial laser reflex technique. And it seems that in some people, just like you can have a lack of vitamins and minerals, or you can have a lack of hormones, you can have a lack of light communication. And you shine a light on one end of the pathway, it shoots to the other, and the other end starts working. And on some people, it is just like a complete miracle. And usually the people it works best on are the people who are, they're just like, there's no way this is going to work. The first time I really used this was at a friend's wedding. A friend's mother had frozen shoulder. She was going to go in and have an operation. I basically just shined light on various points and reflexes to all the muscles around the shoulder. And 5 minutes later, she could move her arm and the frozen shoulder was completely gone. Now, in my mind, this tells me she didn't actually have adhesive capsulitis. But I tested all her muscles and her range of motion. It was certainly really stiff. She certainly had a mechanical shoulder problem. But afterwards, it was completely gone. And that was the first time I used it. I used it countless times since then. And it's something that is completely uninvasive. It's completely safe. And it can have amazing effects on all kinds of people. So I will put a link to my pain relief report, of which cranial reflex laser technique and the laser stuff is all in there as well, so you can learn more about it. So if you have found today's broadcast enlightening, literally enlightening, if you found it's expanded your mind, man, then please share, because the thing about cannabidiol oil, this stuff, okay, is the fact that it is completely legal. And there are so many people out there who are looking for cannabis because they've heard it's good for cancer, and they're going down and they're acquiring it illegally, which I think most of the people that are actually selling it for cancer are doing it in a very, very safe way, as far as I know, but please don't take my word for it. But basically, cannabidiol oil, it's made under completely laboratory conditions. It's made, it's legal. Basically, it's legal, and most people don't know this yet. Okay, all right, everybody, live long and prosper. And next week, I will have to have a think about what I'm going to talk about. It'll be another one of the Magnificent Seven. I'm not sure which one just yet. Depends what I want to start writing about. For everyone that's in my 365, I will see you later. Be well.